Hello, my name's Jamie. I'm from Scotland and I work at Elite Language Centre in Malaysia, teacher for Elementary 2. Okay, today you need two books. You need your student's book and your workbook. Okay, let's start. Please open your student's book at page 22. First, we'll start by reading the days of the week. Please listen and repeat after me. First, we'll start with the days of the week, the weekdays. Monday, Monday. Tuesday, Tuesday. Wednesday, Wednesday. Thursday, Thursday. Friday, Friday. Now we'll look at the 2 days that are the weekend. Saturday, Saturday. Sunday, Sunday. Okay, now we're going to read about Lisa. Lisa has 2 jobs. First, I want you to close your books. Okay, I want you to listen to Lisa and I want you to think about 3 questions. Number 1, where does she live? Number 2, is she 24, 32 or 42? And number 3, what are her 2 jobs? So listen and think about the answers. Okay, let's listen to Lisa.
Unit 3. Tape script 3.1. Lisa's 2 jobs.
Hi, I'm Lisa Parsons. I'm 24 years old and I live in New York City. I'm always very busy, but I'm very happy. From Monday to Friday, I work in a bookstore, the Strand bookstore in Manhattan. Then on Saturdays, I have another job. I'm a singer with a band. It's great because I love books and I love singing. On weekdays, I usually finish work at 6 o'clock, but sometimes I stay late until 9 or 10 o'clock at night. On Saturday evenings, I sing in nightclubs in all parts of the city. I don't go to bed until 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. On Sundays, I don't do much at all. I often eat in a little restaurant near my apartment. I never cook on a Sunday. I'm too tired.
Okay, so now let's check the answers. Okay, question 1. Where does she live? In New York City. Question 2. Is she 24, 32 or 42? The answer, she's 24. Question 3. What are her 2 jobs? She works in a bookstore and she is a singer. Okay, please open your books to page 22. Okay, now we are going to read about Lisa. And I would like you to use the verbs in the box to complete the reading. There are 10 verbs in the box. In the reading, there are 10 spaces. So put one verb into one space. Use each verb only one time. Okay. Let's listen again, and you can check your answers on screen.
Unit 3. Tape script 3.1. Lisa's 2 jobs.
Hi, I'm Lisa Parsons. I'm 24 years old and I live in New York City. I'm always very busy, but I'm very happy. From Monday to Friday, I work in a bookstore, the Strand bookstore in Manhattan. Then on Saturdays, I have another job. I'm a singer with a band. It's great because I love books and I love singing. On weekdays, I usually finish work at 6 o'clock, but sometimes I stay late until 9 or 10 o'clock at night. On Saturday evenings, I sing in nightclubs in all parts of the city. I don't go to bed until 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. On Sundays, I don't do much at all. I often eat in a little restaurant near my apartment. I never cook on a Sunday. I'm too tired.
Okay, please turn to page 23 of your student's book. We're going to look at question number 3. Okay, I want you to listen and complete the answers. Remember, question 1 and question 4, they are question word questions, whereas number 2 and number 3, they are yes/no questions. So the answers will be different. Okay, so listen and complete the answers.
Tape script 3.2. 1.
Where do you live?
In New York.
2.
Do you like your job?
Yes, I do.
3.
Do you relax at weekends?
No, I don't.
4.
Why don't you relax at weekends?
Because I sing in nightclubs.
Okay, if you want to listen again, ask your teacher to repeat the recording. Okay, please check your answers on screen. Okay, now if you look at question number 4, I want you to work with your partner. One person is going to be Lisa Parsons. The other person is going to ask Lisa questions. Let's do the first 2 questions together. So the first question is, how old are you, Lisa? And the answer is, I'm 24. The second question is, do you live in New York? And the answer, yes, I do. To find the answers for Lisa, you must read from page 22. Okay, now please ask and answer the questions with your partner. Okay, well done. Let's listen and you can compare your answers with Lisa's answers.
Script 3.3.
Hi, Lisa. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Now, I hear you often sing in nightclubs here in New York.
That's right. I love singing.
And how old are you, Lisa?
I'm 24.
And do you live in New York?
Yes, I do. I live downtown near the river.
And where do you work?
I work in a bookstore, the Strand bookstore in Manhattan.
What time do you finish work?
Well, I usually finish at 6 o'clock, but sometimes I stay late until 9 or 10 o'clock. But I always finish at 6 on Saturdays because I sing in the evening.
How many jobs do you have?
Just 2, the bookstore and singing.
And do you like your jobs?
Oh, yes, I love them both.
Why do you like them?
Because I love singing and I love books. I'm lucky. I love my work.
What do you do on Sundays?
Oh, I don't do much at all. I often eat in a little restaurant near my apartment.
Do you sometimes cook on Sundays?
Never. I'm too tired.
I understand that.
Okay, now please look at the grammar spot, the blue box. For question 1, I want you to complete the chart. Here we have present simple, positive and negative. I want you to complete the chart using the verb work. So, for example, I work, you work. Negative, I don't work, you don't work. Please complete the positive and negative for he, she, it, and the positive and negative for we and they. Okay, please check your answers on screen. So, positive, he, she, it works. Negative, he, she, it doesn't work. Positive, we and they work. Negative, we and they don't work. Okay, now please complete the questions and answers for question number 2. The first 2 questions are question word questions. The last 2 questions are yes or no questions without question words. Please complete the question and the answer. Okay, please check your answers for number 2 on screen. So, where do you work? Where does she work? Do you work in London? Yes, I do. Does he work in London? No, he doesn't. Okay, let's go to question number 3. Here, in the box, there are 5 adverbs. Always, usually, often, sometimes, and never. I want you to try and find these adverbs from the reading on page 22. So remember, I want you to find and underline these words: always, usually, often, sometimes, and never. Let's try and find some together. For example, here, I'm always very busy. Okay, now try and find the rest on your own. Okay, please check your answers on screen. Your teacher should give you this handout. Okay, this picture shows the adverbs of frequency. For 0%, we say never. For 20%, we say rarely or seldom. For 40%, we say sometimes. For 60%, we say often. For 80%, we say usually. And for 100%, we say always. We use these words to say how often we do something. Okay, so adverbs of frequency come after the subject and before the verb. For example, I, the subject, always, the adverb of frequency, have, the verb, breakfast. But 2 adverbs of frequency, sometimes and usually, can also be at the start and the end of the sentence. For example, I sometimes go to the cinema. sometimes I go to the cinema, and I go to the cinema sometimes. I usually wake up at 8. Usually I wake up at 8. And I wake up at 8 usually. These three sentences mean the same. When we make negative sentences, the adverb of frequency goes between don't or doesn't and the verb. For example, I don't often go to the cinema. He doesn't usually wake up at 8. Okay, please get your workbook. We will do some practice of the adverbs of frequency. Please turn to page 19. Please turn to page 18. Okay, let's look at question number 4. The question is how often. When somebody asks us how often, we use adverbs of frequency to answer. So, I want you to put the words in order to make a sentence. For example, number 1. Always, shower, morning, have, the, in, I, a. Always must come between subject and verb. So the correct sentence is I always have a shower in the morning. Okay, now please try number 2 until number 5. Put the words in order to make a correct sentence. Okay, please check your answers on screen. The adverbs of frequency are written in red. Okay, please close your workbook and we'll go back to the student's book, page 23. Okay, we're going to do the last activity for this class. Please look at question number 5. We're going to listen and I want you to tick the sentence you hear. For each number, only tick one sentence. Let's do the first one as an example.
Tape script 3.4. 1.
Lisa, why do you like your job?
Okay, so the correct answer for number 1 is A. Lisa, why do you like your job? 1A. Now, please listen to number 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Remember, only tick one sentence, the sentence that you hear. Okay, let's listen again.
2.
Where do you live in New York?
3.
What do you do on Tuesday evenings?
4.
She really loves singing.
5.
She eats a lot.
6.
What does she do on Sundays?
If you want to listen again, ask your teacher to play the recording again. Okay, let's check the answers together on screen. Okay, please check your answers on screen. Okay, we are finished with the student's book today, so please close your student's book and I will give you some homework. Please open your workbook to page 16. For homework, I want you to do page 16, question number 2, the British Airways pilot. First, I want you to read about Captain Helen Walker, and I want you to complete the text using the verbs from the box. This reading is on page 16 and 17. There are 11 verbs and 11 spaces, so you can use one verb only one time. When you have finished that, I want you to look at number 2. Here, I want you to look at Helen's answers. Using the answers and using the reading to help you, I want you to complete the questions. First, you must complete the reading and use the information in the reading to help you to complete the questions. On the next page, page 17, I would like you to look at question number 3. For question 3, you have to complete the sentences using negative of the verb to be, isn't, aren't, and am not, or negative of the present simple, doesn't or don't. Read the sentences carefully. Remember, if you have a verb, you must use present simple. If you have an adjective, you must use verb to be. Also, if you don't have a verb, you must use verb to be. Okay, that's the homework from the workbook. Please close your workbooks. Okay, also for homework, I want you to practice some spelling. Your teacher should give you this sheet with different words for spelling. Tomorrow, I will test you on these words. Remember, the best way to learn the spelling of the words is to write the word out again and again. Maybe if you write each word 5 times, it will help you to remember the spelling. Okay, that's the end of the lesson for today. Well done. Remember, if you don't understand anything from today's lesson, be sure to ask your teacher and they will help you. And I will see you again soon for the next lesson.